Dodge has long been synonymous with American power and performance, and one of the most iconic models in its lineup is undoubtedly the Dodge Charger. From the muscular coupe of the 1960s to the sleek and futuristic 2025 Daytona, every generation tells its own unique story. The year was 1966. America was obsessed with speed, style, and raw horsepower. Muscle cars like the Ford Mustang, Pontiac GTO, and Chevrolet Chevelle were tearing up the streets, and Dodge wanted in. But what could Dodge bring to the table? The answer was the Dodge Charger, built on the B-body platform but reimagined from the ground up. Its sleek flashback silhouette, shaped by the aerodynamic trends of the era, paired with a fully enclosed grille and hidden headlights, made a bold statement. This was no ordinary car. The muscular lines screamed performance. Inside the Charger was a blend of comfort and cutting-edge features for its time. On the road, it commanded respect. Powerful, elegant, and destined to become a legend. But would that be enough? But the real magic was under the hood. Engine options range from 318 cubic inch V8 to the monstrous 426 cubic inch HEMI, a powerhouse delivering 425 horsepower. Still, despite its muscle and style, the Charger didn't take the market by storm right away. Sales were modest, with the Mustang dominating and the GTO holding strong among gearheads. But Dodge wasn't done. The Charger's humble beginnings were only the prologue. A legend had been born. In 1968, the second-generation Dodge Charger debuted with an all-new design that would become legendary. It adapted the now iconic Coke bottle shape, a curvy, muscular silhouette that radiated strength and motion. The bold front grille with hidden headlights remained a signature feature, while the rear introduced distinctive round tail lights. And it didn't just look powerful, it was. Engine options range from a modest 225 cubic inch inline-six with 145 horsepower to two ferocious V8s, the 426 HEMI 440 Magnum. The Charger was a dominant presence on American roads and racetracks. In 1968, Dodge also introduced the RT, a performance package that quickly gained popularity. Its fame skyrocketed thanks to the legendary car chase in Bullitt, featuring a 1968 Charger being pursued through the streets of San Francisco by a Mustang GT. That scene is still considered one of the greatest car chases in movie history. Meanwhile, NASCAR was the ultimate battleground for car manufacturers in the late 60s, and Dodge wasn't just about to sit it out. In 1969, they unleashed the Charger 500, a limited production homologation special based on the RT. With a flush-mounted rear window and a Coronet-style front grille, it was all about aerodynamics. Under the hood, the same high-performance Magnum and HEMI engines. But the true moment of glory came later that year with the arrival of the Dodge Charger Daytona. This was no ordinary Charger. It was a radical racing machine, featuring an elongated aerodynamic nose and an enormous rear wing. The Daytona became the first NASCAR to break the 200 miles per hour barrier, that is 321 kilometers an hour on the track.
Buddy became the first man in history to break the 200-mile-per-hour barrier on a closed race course, and you're watching him do it here in his winged Dodge stock racing car.
It dominated so fiercely that NASCAR had to step in and change the rules, putting limits on these so-called aero warriors. The second-generation Charger also saw a few design tweaks. In 1969, the front grille got a vertical divider, giving it a more refined look. Then in 1970, the grille was redesigned again, this time without the divider and with a more pronounced outward curve, giving the Charger a sleek, modern appearance. We are interrupting this video to invite you to become part of our community. Hit the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive our notifications. A like and comment are very helpful for the YouTube algorithm to recommend our content to other car enthusiasts. Thank you. In 1971, Dodge ushered in the third generation of the Charger, a model that marked both the evolution and the slow farewell to the golden age of muscle cars. Responding to the changing market demands and tightening regulations, Dodge gave the Charger a more rounded, fluid design in line with the styling trends of the early 70s. It still retained its muscular presence, but now with a touch of sophistication and luxury that set it apart from other muscle car rivals. One of the biggest shifts came in the lineup itself. The Charger was now available in multiple trims like the RT and the revived Super B. Dodge also introduced the SE Special Edition, which focused on comfort, offering a more upscale interior and premium features. Under the hood, the Charger still packed a serious punch. Buyers could choose from a range of engines, from the budget-friendly 220 cubic inch 3.7-liter slant 6 and the reliable 318 V8 5.2-liter to raw powerhouses like the 440 Magnum and the legendary 426 HEMI V8, a true icon of the muscle car era. Even as the muscle car era began to decline, the third-generation Charger still held its ground on the track. It saw continued success in NASCAR, further cementing its legacy as a performance legend. By the mid-1970s, the American muscle car landscape was changing fast. The Dodge Charger, once a symbol of raw power, had to adapt. 1975, the fourth-generation Charger debuted, and it was a different kind of machine. Instead of sticking to its hardcore muscle car roots, the Charger shifted towards the personal luxury coupe market, now going head-to-head with the Chevrolet Monte Carlo and Ford Thunderbird. The design was smoother and more restrained, featuring a reshaped front grille and dual headlights that gave it a more upscale vibe. The body was longer and more substantial, while the interior emphasized comfort, offering plush seats and higher-grade materials. Still, Dodge didn't completely abandon performance. Under the hood, the Charger offered a range of engines, from the humble 225 cubic inch to 318 and 360 V8s, all the way up to 440 cubic inch 7.2-liter big block V8. On one of the most talked about versions from this era was the Charger Daytona. It wasn't what fans remembered. This time, Daytona didn't mean track-dominating speed. It was a trim package, all show with no go, featuring bold design graphics and sporty design cues aimed more at appearance than performance. A far cry from the muscular beasts of the past, the fifth-generation Dodge Charger was a complete departure from tradition. Redesigned as a compact front-wheel drive hatchback based on the Dodge Omni platform, this Charger was built for a new automotive era. Its design was sharp and angular, a reflection of early 1980s trends favoring smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicles. Dodge was clearly targeting a different kind of buyer, one more interested in practicality than raw horsepower. Inside the cabin was minimalist, but functional, focused on utility and affordability over luxury or performance. Under the hood, the engine options followed suit. Small displacement 4-cylinder engines ranging from 1.6 to 2.2 liters, prioritizing economy over speed. But the real highlight of this generation came in 1983 with a surprising twist. Dodge teamed up with the legendary Carroll Shelby. The result? The Dodge Shelby Charger, a performance-oriented version that added sport-tuned suspension, upgraded brakes, and a turbocharged 2.2-liter inline-4. In its later iterations, it cranked up to 175 horsepower, not bad at all for the time, and enough to give the Charger a spark of its former spirit. After nearly 2 decades of absence, the Dodge Charger made a bold and triumphant return in 2006, but this time it came back in a completely new form, a 4-door sports sedan. It was a radical shift that divided long-term fans, but also opened a brand new chapter in Charger's legacy. With its aggressive stance, sculpted body lines, and bold front grille, the 6th-generation Charger held onto its muscular car DNA, but reimagined it for a modern era. It blended performance and practicality, creating a new category, the everyday muscle car. Under the hood, the Charger brought back the kind of firepower fans had been waiting for. Entry-level models came with the 2.7-liter and 3.5-liter V6 engines, but things got a bit serious with the 5.7-liter HEMI V8, pushing at 340 horsepower. And for those craving true performance, the SRT8 version featured a 6.1-liter HEMI V8 that delivers 425 horsepower, a direct nod to the original HEMI legend. The SRT8 quickly became a modern icon, offering blistering acceleration and a redefined chassis that brought improved handling and cornering ability. The 6th-generation Charger also made a name for itself in pop culture, appearing in blockbuster films, video games, and even becoming a staple in police fleets across the United States. Its mix of speed, durability, and practicality made it as versatile as it was powerful. It was proof that legends can return and even evolve without losing the soul that made them the icon in the first place. When Dodge introduced the 7th generation Charger in 2011, the message was clear. The classic American muscle car could evolve while retaining its unmistakable character. The design was a return to its roots, with sculpted lines reminiscent of classic models. The aggressive front end, featuring a prominent grille and signature LED headlights, gave the Charger a bold, intimidating road presence. Around back, the racetrack LED taillights became an instant icon of the modern Charger. Inside, the Charger was elevated with modern comfort and cutting-edge tech, including the Uconnect touchscreen system, heated and ventilated seats, premium materials, and a full suite of advanced safety features. Under the hood, the 7th Gen Charger offered a broad lineup of engines: 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 with 292 horsepower, a beefed-up 5.7-liter HEMI V8 with 370 horsepower, and a new 6.4-liter HEMI in the Charger SRT8, producing a whopping 470 horsepower. In 2015, the Dodge Charger received a significant facelift. The front end was redesigned with sleeker LED headlights and a more prominent grille. Inside, updates include a new instrument cluster featuring a 7-inch TFT display and an upgraded Uconnect infotainment system with up to an 8.4-inch touchscreen on the center. Under the hood, the base model came with the 3.6-liter V6, while the range-topping SRT Hellcat remained the star of the show, cranking out 707 horsepower. Among the most iconic performance variants was the ScatPack, powered by the 6.4-liter HEMI V8 with 485 horsepower, a favorite among enthusiasts. And Dodge didn't stop there. Models like the Hellcat Widebody, with its widened stance and aggressive styling, the Red Eye pushing a staggering 797 horsepower, turning the Charger into a true road monster. In 2024, the Dodge Charger entered a bold new era, redefining what a muscle car can be in the age of electrification. After decades of roaring HEMI engines that embodied raw power, the 8th generation ditches tradition in favor of electric propulsion, without sacrificing the aggressive spirit and high performance that made the Charger a legend. The design has been completely reimagined. It stays true to the Charger's iconic DNA, but introduces more futuristic aerodynamic lines. Up front, an illuminated grille leads the way, while the muscular silhouette is sculpted into a sleek yet commanding profile. Around the back, the signature racetrack taillights return, now with advanced lighting technology and a modern twist. Inside, the new Charger features a fully digital cockpit with expansive driver and infotainment displays, wrapped in premium material that blends tech with muscle car attitude. It marks a historic first, the debut of an electric Dodge known as the Charge Daytona. But Dodge hasn't left gasoline behind just yet. The Charger SIXPACK, featuring an internal combustion engine, is set to launch in 2025. The Charge Daytona EV is available in 2 powerful trims: the RT with 490 horsepower and the ScatPack with an impressive 670 horsepower. Meanwhile, the Charger SIXPACK models are available with the Hurricane 3.0-liter twin-turbo inline-6 engine arriving in 2025. These engines outperform the outgoing HEMIs in both power and efficiency, signaling a new chapter in Dodge performance engineering. From the raw, rebellious muscle cars of the 60s to today's electrified revolution, the Dodge Charger proves that true icons don't fade away, they evolve. The Dodge Charger isn't about just the past or the future, it's about both. And wherever it goes, it doesn't just follow the road, it owns it. The engine is stopped, but the story continues. If you liked the video, don't forget to give us a like, join our community by pressing the subscribe button, and leave us a comment below. See you next time.